I wanted to visit for just a couple minutes about the possible tax reform and all the different things that are out in the media right now coming at us about possible tax increases, possible increases to the estate tax exclusions that might affect inheritances down the road of our children or grandchildren. There's currently no shortage of opinions, thoughts, and ideas around what could happen, might happen, or might not happen. And based on my experience, it's probably going to be something in between. So one of the things that's come up recently that caught my attention is they're looking at the federal estate tax exemption. And basically what that means is up to that dollar amount, you can pass on to your heirs without additional gift or estate tax issues. Years ago, that was $1 million or $2 million. Today, it's like 11.7 million that you can pass on without that estate tax hitting. Once you go over that, it's like a progressive rate on the additional amount over that threshold that faces additional taxes. Now, to be clear, when you pass it on from one spouse to the other spouse, that's not an issue. We're talking about when money is inherited to children, grandchildren, things like that. So why are we discussing this when probably only 1% or 0.5% of the population, investing population out there, is going to be affected by something like $11.7 million exclusion on your estate? The reason I want to bring it up is, number one, it's out in the news everywhere and we're getting questions on it. Number two is I do believe it will be likely that that number will be changed. Like I said, it's been in flux and changed for years and years and years. What is being proposed is to roll it back to a 2009 exclusion limit, which was, I believe, $3.5 million. That would certainly start to affect more of our clients. And it's not something that I think we need to obsess or worry about at all this point, because it's just a lot of hearsay. It's just a lot of opinions. But it is something we need to keep an eye on, because whether it's $3.5 million or $5 million or whatever whatever that exclusion ends up getting rolled back to, it would be important at that point, if it affected you personally, that we do some planning around that. Because you don't just have to pay the estate tax because you go over that amount. You can do planning. You can plan to gift a certain amount of assets or a certain amount of money to your children and grandchildren year after year after year while you're living on this earth, to keep lowering your taxable estate to make sure you stay under that exclusion. You can also give money to some of your favorite charities. That again, during your living lifetime of giving away some of those assets, not only are you doing good for your community and giving back to some of those areas that you're most passionate about, you're also helping avoid some of that estate tax possibility, that federal estate tax, staying under that exemption. Lastly, there are legal estate planning things that you can do as well to set up certain types of entities or accounts where you leave money behind, but you get to, enjoy some of the income off of those investments today. There's all different types of strategies to plan for that. At this point, I'm just bringing it up because our clients, you all need to be aware of it. You need to know at a minimum that there are ways that we can plan for whatever happens, whatever that number is. If it ends up affecting you, we can have a plan. You can visit with attorneys, accountants who are much smarter than I am in those specific areas. I just bringing it up to make sure people are aware of it and kind of answer some of the questions that we're getting currently.